Hello, I'm Shinobu with Trees and Airsoft, and this is my 1990s loadout. Now then, let's start off with the backstory behind this loadout. I started Airsoft about maybe a year and a half ago, let's just say. My uncle, who's been in the military for about 15 years, thought that it would have been really awesome, and he was really supportive about it. So what he did was he helped me as best as he could. So after about a year or so, he sent down an old piece of equipment that he wore when he was deployed to Iraq. And that is this LBE you see me wearing right now. And this whole entire pistol belt with all the attachments on it, he actually wore over to Iraq. Now then, the moment I got that, I thought it was the coolest thing. I had a piece of history. But then it dawned on me, I can make an airsoft loadout on this. So, I did more research. And that's what brought me to everything you see me wearing right now. Pretty much, I didn't want to just run the LBE that he gave me. Because a lot of kids who are brand new to it wore this kind of LBE. Everything you see on me could be gotten at a flea market. But the thing is, because they were starting out, they only got the bare minimal. So I wanted to get something that was just like what would have been worn during the 90s, which is where this is from, and still be historically accurate and not be looking like I'm a noob. So that's when I started doing research. At first I wanted the IBA, but that's too expensive. Now I found some cheap knockoffs, some not so cheap knockoffs, and some moderately priced, really high quality knockoffs of the IBA. But then I sat down and thought about it. Would a pistol belt that have seen Iraq be well complemented with something that was mass-produced for airsofters? No. So that's when I started doing more research and other alternatives, and that is when I found the vest that I am wearing underneath this LBE. This is the Personal Armor System for Ground Troops vest, or the PASGT, but more commonly known as a flak vest. This is a non-ballistics Kevlar weaved vest that was issued way before the 90s, because this was issued more around the Vietnam era time, around the 60s, 70s even. And pretty much this whole entire idea for this was to stop shrapnel from mortars or grenades, not to stop a bullet. Well, they later on came up with the ballistics plating, and they decided to wear the plates over this, or cut holes into it and slide the plates in. And that's more of what they wore around the 1993 Black Hawk Down. But, of course, that would have costed, again, way too much. I might as well have gone and gotten an IBA if I wanted a flak with plates. So I just have this normal one. Now, I thought, yeah, this is so cool. But wait a second. At the field I play at, there's a lot of getting down on your hands and knees and getting down and dirty. And there's a lot of stuff around there, like dead foliage and just a lot of junk on the ground, as some airsoft fields should be. So that's why I wanted to go with more elbow pads and knee pads. Again, everything that could be gotten at a flea market. And then what about my head? That came to mind. What about my head? What if, while I'm running, I trip over something? I needed to protect the noggin. Now again, I could have gone out and gotten any kind of helmet. I could have gotten a bike helmet and spray painted, which I did. But I figured knockoffs wouldn't really fit the whole entire ordeal I'm going to. So that's when I found out that the PAS GT helmet, which I believe is a Mitch 2000, was sold with the flak vest at my local flea market. Now, I had known the guy, so I got a pretty good deal. I got $10 off of this, and I got $10 off of this, amongst some other stuff like the elbow pads and other stuff. Well, I was all set to go. I had everything I needed. Head, body, elbows, knees. Wait a second. What about my hands? Thankfully, my uncle gave me these. These are, I don't know the history behind these gloves, but they're like a soft knuckle glove right up here. Not to mention they're really, really durable. He told me that these things weren't going to be ripped. And I haven't gotten a chance to wear these because I just got them not even a month ago. But I can already tell just by wearing them that they're going to be freaking awesome. Okay, so now I got my hands. And, okay, well, it's hot. Oh man, that wouldn't really work all too well out on the field, running around for 45 minutes, shooting, ducking behind cover, wearing a good 30 pounds of gear, and that's just it being unloaded. And then it just came to me. I need hydration. I don't want to be running out there, starting to feel dehydrated, and then having to walk off, take some water, and then walk back on. Thankfully, the rig he gave me came with a canteen. I'm a big dude. This canteen's not going to get me too far. And that's when I came up with, bam, a 2-liter Camelback hydration carrier. Again, something my uncle gave me. So Uncle Chris, when you're watching this, just thank you for everything that you gave me. I cannot even begin to express how thankful I am for this. But then I just decided, why just half-ass this? Why not, if I really want to get into the military experience, I'd need a rucksack or some sort of assault pack to wear on my back. Probably have my hydration bladder tucked into it, and I'm currently not wearing it. But what if I'm running out there and my friends need something? I could just run up, kneel down, and they can dive into it. Now, that sounds like something more of a support gunner role, which honestly right now I don't have a support gunner, but at the same time, it's a team. You need a pack mule. You can't just run around and carry everything that you need for an operation. But then again, right now we are playing only pickup games, which is why, again, I won't be running it. But if I do, I have this handy-dandy London Bridge 3-day assault pack. Now I know there's no such thing as a 3-day assault pack. That's because I took the 3-day, the name of the 3-day pack and assault pack and just mushed it together. Because I talked to him and I'm like, Chris, because he gave it to me. Chris, what is the actual use for one of these things? And he's like, well, it depends on what you load it up with. So it's just going to be a 3-day assault pack. I can load it up with a whole lot of BBs, or I can load it up with some MREs, my poncho liner, or my whoopee. Or with my poncho, I could probably put a small sleeping bag in there. I could attach my tent to it. I could do pretty much anything to this. But that's all about the gear. Now you're probably running, or wondering, Tyler, or Shinobu, where's your gun? Well, right here. This is the G&G Combat Machine M4A1 carbine that I just hit myself with. This is a good little gun. It does me well. And it's exactly what they were wearing or using during this time period. Now, I know there's not all the fancy-pantsy pec box with the grip there and a little sight attached to the top of it. Not to mention, you're also probably wondering, why not an M16 instead of an M4? Because this is a 1990s loadout. Well, I had this laying around and I also did some research. And I found out that around the 90s is when they were switching from the M16 to the M4. Now then, that's all fine and dandy, but it dawned on me again, because apparently I do a lot of thinking. What if my gun goes down? Am I going to go, oh man, my gun went down, and pull out my little dead rag, okay, gotta go fix the gun? No. That's why I have this little baby. This is my Elite Force 1911 CO2. This is the normal 1911, not the tacked, as you can determine, because it's not tan, nor does it have a rail on the bottom. I decided to go with this one for multiple reasons. Primarily because it was cheaper than the tactical. Second, I don't need the rail on the bottom of this, because I'm not doing CQB quite yet. So I don't need to attach optics to the bottom of this. So I just wanted a pistol that would do me well. Now then, that's pretty much it. I mean, I made sure that everything was uniform. Everything I'm wearing is woodland. Helmet cover, the gloves, not woodland, but they blend in with the woodland. Woodland BDU jacket, woodland elbow pads, woodland vest, LBE, pants, knee pads. The only thing I'm wearing that isn't with woodland is my boots. These are just the normal 511 tactical boots. I have two pairs. This is what they look like. This is my everyday ones. These are the ones my uncle gave me. He wore these overseas to Iraq, and he gave them to me when I was in middle school about 5 years ago, 5-6 years ago. But I walked them to death. He killed them, I killed them again. So I couldn't use them. So luckily, my grandfather had another pair lying around that actually had tread for me to use, and they're the exact same ones, and that's what I've been wearing. Anyway, if you have any other questions, please answer them in the bottom, in the comments below. If you liked the video, hit the like button. If you want to see more videos, click the subscribe button. And if you have well, actually, that's about it. Anyway, this is Shinobu with Team Treason, signing off.